and thank you for joining me for a flow. I am starting sitting on a bolster. You can also start on a block or the floor, sitting any way that feels good for you. We're just going to start with a few minutes of grounding and centering. So letting the body feel good where it rests, letting the shoulders lift up on the inhale, down and back on the exhale, palms either in the lap, at the belly, or just together in front of you. Let the eyes softly close if you feel comfortable doing so. The face relax and the crown of the head lift. As you breathe, feeling the movement of the body, noticing anything that's beneath the surface, any tension or stress, any imagery in the mind, preoccupied thoughts. Instead of trying to shoo them away, acknowledging them, welcoming everything that's present because it is present. It's part of this moment, part of this practice. Deep breath in and a clearing breath out. Begin to move side to side. Begin to twist gently in one direction, then the other. And then maybe some side bends. One side, and then the other. Just moving up the 6 different movements up the spine. So now we're going to inhale, heart forward. Exhale, heart back. Twist towards one side. Twist towards the other. And then we'll side bend. Do this one more time. Breathing with each movement. And then whichever way you have your legs crossed, go ahead and change the cross of the legs. Funky side forward. You might have to adjust your prop beneath you, or maybe even come off of it altogether if you'd like to at this time. And maybe we want to get the arms more involved this time. So inhaling, exhaling, twisting, twisting, side bend, and side bend. Maybe reaching, sweeping forward. And now the other side. We're going to do this again, and this time we're going to let our knees come to the floor. We're going to press our pelvis forward. Just noticing where you feel the stretch, where you feel the ease, comfort, the discomfort. One more time on each side. Good. Now, shake out the legs, move through the feet, and we're going to start with a wide leg straddle. Might feel a little bit stiff, that's okay. You can use blocks or a bolster in front of you if you'd like. Flex the feet, lift up through the heart, and then imagine that your heart is still lifting up as you just begin to hinge at the hips. You're going to feel maybe a good stretch in here. Bring hands down, but try and keep the heart forward and the spine long. Keep the feet flexed. And breathe. At some point it might feel good to lower down to elbows, to lengthen the back of the neck by tucking the chin, maybe even stretching the arms long. You notice that you've gone a little too far, feeling free to come back up to any level that's needed for you. Trying to open up the insides of the legs. We'll get to the backs of the legs shortly, don't worry. Now, left forearm down on the inside of the left leg or left hand down. And then we're going to sweep the right arm up. And then we're going to try and keep both shoulders pulled open as we reach the right arm up and over. Now for some, it can be easy or somewhat easy to reach the left hand forward, make connection, and really spiral, rotate the chest through the gate of the arm. For others, this doesn't feel so good, so do less. Looking for a side body opening here, as well as some stretch possibly in the back of that left leg. And now I'd like you to rotate your chest towards that left leg and fold over it. Use your obliques, come all the way back up, spinal erector muscles work as well. And here we go, other side. Just testing out first where you need to be, whether it's the hand, the elbow, and one side might be different than the other. Totally normal, as you guys know by now. So just acknowledging where you are, what you need. Most importantly, breathing. Rotating the chest up, keeping the collarbones broad. Use some counter traction. Press into this hand, rotate. And then we turn towards that right leg and we fold over it, keeping active through the left leg. Walking back up, roll through the shoulders, interlace the fingers behind the low back, open the chest, knuckles may come down to the floor, heart up towards the sky. Soles of the feet together, knees apart, Baddha Konasana, butterfly pose. Can bring the heels way in or keep them further out, yogi's choice. Lift the heart, breathe in. Exhale, bring the heart forward, bring the arms forward. Tuck the chin to lengthen the back of the neck. Now if you would like to use a little bit of weight to help those knees come down a bit more, you certainly can. Something like this, you don't have to force it. A little trick if you want the knees to come down more would be actually to bring the hands behind you, lift the butt up, bring it forward. Notice how that changes. Then you just lean forward. Think about opening your feet like a book. And coming back up, left leg long, and we're going to put that right leg over the thigh. If you need to keep it on the inside, this is totally fine. I'm going to cross mine over and take the twist towards the right. For half Lord of the Fishes, Ardha Matsyendrasana, let the left elbow come in front of the right knee. And now counter twist. Other side. And counter twist. Good. Now go ahead and lay yourself onto your back. Hug the knees and the chest. You can give a squeeze and then straighten the arms. Squeeze and straighten the arms. Perhaps even extending the legs, peace finger to big toe, or just grabbing onto the calves or behind the thighs. And then point and flex. Lower the left leg down. Move my block there. And then lower the right leg down. Now you're welcome to keep your head down, or you can hold behind the head, lift up like you're doing a crunch, lift the shoulder blades up, keep the elbows wide, and alternate with the breath. locking the core, hip flexors, pointing through the toes, firming the quads, squeezing the butt as your heel touches down. Pull the ab muscles down, knit the ribs in. Now we're going to move our blocks. There's one right in the center. We're going to tap, 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 tap. Watch what I'm doing. Tap, 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 tap. So we're tapping on the outside of the block, then the inside, outside, then the inside, crossing the midline. Hug the knees to the chest and lay down. Stir the knees around. Feet plant flat on the floor. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands down. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands down. Hands stay down. Inhale, hips up. Exhale, hips down. Inhale, hips up. Squeeze your butt top nice and firm. Exhale, down. Connecting the two. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. 3 more. Last one. Good. Cross at the ankles, pull them in, rock forward, hands and knees. Good. Child's pose, roll out the wrists, tuck the toes, push the hips back, maybe even walk the hands back so you're getting a really good toe stretch, Achilles stretch here. You can rock back and forth. And then from here, hands down, butt up, forward fold. And you can pedal out. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Rise all the way up. Hands to heart. Vrikshasana, tree pose. So starting first with the left leg down, and then finding either a kickstand. I'll turn this way so you can see. Kickstand with the right foot at the calf. Skip the knee to the inner thigh. If you need your hand, use your hand. Now, if you're pushing with your foot into your leg, push with your leg into your foot. Squeeze your buns, pull the belly in. Ground down through the feet. Another option, of course, would be half lotus, keeping the heel into the inguinal line here. Turning knee down, foot tucked in nice and close to protect the knee. And breathing. If you'd like to extend the arms down or up, hands to heart, or find the bind, that is your choice. Just getting some balance early on in the practice. Maintaining the breath that's smooth, feels nourishing to the body. Undoing, wiggling out, moving back and forth. Other side. Kickstand. Calf, remember we're not pushing all of the weight towards the right. We're letting this hip and leg push towards center line, no matter where you find yourself. So finding your Vrikshasana, your tree pose, and letting it feel good for you. If you want the bind here, you can take it, or you can just hold. Eyes closed for more challenge. Just making sure you're grounding down through the mound of the big toe. When you're ready, coming out of it, wiggling around. Standing at the back of the mat, inhale, reach high. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, half lift. And then we're going to bend the knees and we're going to pounce forward as much as we can, taking as little of steps as that we can with the hands into our plank. From here, knees down, chest down, chin down. Pushing into the hands, guiding the heart forward and up. Cobra pose. If you need less, you can do less just like this. And then as you're ready, tucking the toes, pressing up to the table, and then finding either child's pose or moving into your first downward facing dog. Pedaling out if you'd like to pedal out. Eyes forward, and then feet forward any way you like. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Rise up. Hands to heart. Inhale, lift the right knee up. We've already got our balance ready. Remember, we've done our tree pose, our feet, our legs are ready. Send it back, warrior three. Arms can extend behind you, they can extend in front of you, or they can stay at the chest. And then bring it to a nice high crescent lunge. Arms up. Hands down. Now the left leg is going to go all the way back up, three-leg dog. And then we're going to bend the knee, open the hip, and find our wild thing. From here, side plank. Left hand down, knees down, chest down, chin down. Inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, lift the hips. Pedaling out. Eyes forward, feet forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale to rise. Hands to heart. Same thing, just other side. Hands to heart as we lift the left knee to the chest. Heart comes forward, foot goes back. Flexing at the foot, lifting through the heel, spine is long. Really feel your glutes work. Pull your belly away from the floor. This is not a transition, this is a pose. Holding the shape until we are ready for that high crescent lunge. Lift the ribs away from the hips, reach the arms high. And breathe. One more inhale. Exhale, plant the hands. Right foot all the way back and up, three-leg dog. Bend the knee, open the hip, and find your wild thing. From here, side plank. If you want, you can extend the leg up in the air, or you can bring it down. If you need a kickstand, bring that foot in front and then push into the foot to lift the hips. From here, plank pose, and then you can either do the knees, chest, chin, or traditional vinyasa. Chaturanga, upward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Right leg lifts, and step it forward. Rising up. High crescent lunge. Reach the arms forward. Warrior three. Standing up, knee to chest. Crossing the left leg over the right. Sitting down, Giridhasana legs. And up. And warrior three. Step it back. And when you're ready, arms up. Hands down, vinyasa. Feel the heat. Breathe it in. Breathe it out. Left leg lifts. Step it forward. Rise up. High crescent lunge. If you need to, widen your feet like I just needed to. When you're ready, reach forward, warrior three. Knee to chest, hands to heart, and cross the right leg over the left, sink the hips. Standing up, warrior three. And the foot comes back, the arms reach up. Hands come down. Option for vinyasa, or you can skip it. Bring the elbows down, forearms down, dolphin pose. Lift one leg up, and then the other. Knees down, hips back, child's pose. If you'd rather kneel, sit on your heels like I'm doing, you are more than welcome to do that. Just trying to catch your breath. For a nice cooling breath, if you can roll your tongue, roll your tongue. If not, just make your lips like you have a straw between your mouth. Breathe in and out of that straw. Feel the cooling air. So we're using our core, our legs, our glutes. We've opened up the insides of the legs a bit. We're going to get more into that. So now let's go ahead and find our frog pose. So starting in table, just separating the knees wide. I'm going to come off of my mat, which is actually going to help me because my floor is a little slick. Heels come out, arms come down, frog pose. If this is too intense, you can absolutely do half frog instead on one side. And then in about a minute, change it to the other side. Hands behind the shoulders, hugging the ribs, pressing up, little back bend here. If you want, you can move the shoulders a bit. Heels in, butt back, forearms down. Very wide knee, child's pose. And now, knees together. We're going to bring our hips over the knees. We're just going to help stretch out the hip flexors because we have a lot of bend there. So we're going to do an easy or gentle, well, as gentle as you'd like, Ustrasana, camel pose. So for this, you can have hands on hips, or you can tuck your toes and reach back for the heels. Just trying to get a nice opening through the front of the hip flexors. Lifting up through the spine, finding a lot of length. No compression in the low back. We're not doing Kapotasana. Just a nice gentle Ustrasana. Hopefully you can really feel the nice opening here as it stacks over the knees. And then have a seat. Roll through the shoulders. Good. Now, what we're going towards is something that we don't always work towards. In fact, we hardly ever work towards it. A lot of us as kids were able to do it, or at least come close. As adults, it's pretty rare. I certainly cannot do it, but we're going to work towards our middle splits. So we're used to Hanumanasana, that one leg in front, one leg in back split. This time it's going to be out to the side. So there's a couple different ways to enter this. One, it's from that straddle that we started with, and then you put one hand behind you, one hand in front of you, you lift up and you lean forward, and then you get your butt up like that. Okay, so that's one option. The other option is to come into it sort of like frog, where you start wide like this, just straight over, hips centered, and then you let the feet slide. And then you come on the forearms or wherever they need to be. It is uncomfortable, it is hard. If you feel like it is, you're with me, I'm with you. When you feel like you've had enough, hands up, butt back, shake it out. You might feel a little tightness, a little soreness there tomorrow. That's okay. What we've done is we've stretched, we've stressed the tissues, which is a good thing, especially with muscles and connective tissue. If we stress them by providing either some work or some stretch, it actually pulls moisture, pulls collagen, so there's better glide there. When we don't use it, that's when we feel stiff, because everything kind of locks up. The fascia even begins to calcify a bit, to hold and stabilize. It's kind of like our bones. The osteoblasts, osteoclasts, you've got to get some work in those bones for them to rebuild and be strong. Tissues are the same way. So, all that being said, I'm sure your hips are a little sore right now. So let's go ahead and lay back. Feet wide on the mat, and we're going to windshield wiper, but we're going to drop them way over, get a nice deep internal rotation in one leg at a time. And up, and down. And up, and down. If you'd like to stay in one side like this, you can place the opposite foot over the knee and help it kind of weigh down. Just notice if you have any low back pain, particularly if you have SI pain or SI joint problems. You want the back to move how it needs to move. We're not fixing anything in place. So if it wants to begin to spin and rotate, let it. We're not fixing the bottom. You might notice that the longer you hold this, the more ease you feel in it. It begins to feel comfortable and relaxing. Taking this to the yin side. We had some yang with the heat, the movement, the effort. Now it's about cooling, calming, and finding peace. Coming back up and then going to the other side. Crossing the foot over the knee, letting the right knee come down. And then just breathing, trying to get full lung capacity so the ribs are really expanding, opening up in all directions as you breathe in. And as you exhale, collapsing in on itself in a good way. Very satisfying breath. Breathing in and out. Again, noticing softness, ease in the legs. I'm going to do a little bit for the piriformis. If you have sciatica, this will be really great for you, hopefully. We're going to let our feet come flat on the floor, right leg up, cross it over the left knee, right knee away from the body. You can even use your hand if you need to. You can stay here. Or you can even grab behind the left leg. Try and keep that knee away from the right hip. You might feel something at the external right hip, down through the thigh. If you'd like a little bit of left hamstring action, you can send that leg up, flex the foot, point to stretch the top of the foot and ankle, flex for the back of the leg. If you need a little bit more, you can bend through the knee and reach at the front of the shin. Just noting that the shoulders are heavy. You're not straining or doing any of this. This is more restorative than anything. There's really not much effort here. Just stretch. Creating space. Soothing breaths. Releasing the leg, sending it up, moving it if you need to move it. Other side. And if staying here is where you need to stay here. It's totally fine. If you need more, that's when you reach for behind the thigh or in front of the shin. Keep flexing, the ankles pulling the toes back towards the shins. Again, you have the option for the hamstring, for the moving with the breath, or just to intensify the stretch along the outer left hip this time. Unwinding, moving through that hip if it needs. Bring the feet wide, let the knees fall in together, hands on the chest or belly. Breathing life into yourself, not just with your breath, but with your thoughts, your affirmations. What kind of self-talk do you have? What are the tone of your thoughts? Welcome, usher in some kindness, some grace, appreciation for self. Sometimes we get so caught up in the anxious emotions, the worries, the negativity, that we don't really work through the facts anymore. So I challenge you, when you're having a hard time with emotion versus fact, go towards the facts. Facts are trying the best that we can. Every day is a new opportunity. You can do good with what you have. Stretch the legs long, reach the arms overhead, get a full body stretch. And then let the feet come wide. The toes fall out and the hands come down either by the sides, palms down or palms up, or on the abdomen if you'd like. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Now let go of controlling the breath and just let the body breathe itself. And you get to be an observer of that breath. Give your body, give yourself gratitude for taking time to practice, for the effort, for the benefit that it brings. I invite you to lay here and take as long of a break, Shavasana, as you can. Just enjoying the stillness, the peace that you have. I would like to sincerely thank you for practicing with me once again. Until next time, I wish you nothing but peace. Shanti.